Hi friends, myself Sainath Lambade, and today we are going to discuss about the thyroid gland. First of all, we'll see the position of the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is located in the anterior region of the neck. The thyroid gland is present in the anterior region of the neck, just below the larynx and in front of the trachea. You may directly say that it is present in the front of the trachea, just below the larynx. It is the largest endocrine gland in the human body. If the question arises, which is the largest endocrine gland in the human body, that you may say that is a thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is highly glandular, means having a more amount of secretion. Glands present means the cells which are having the capability to secrete and richly supplied with blood vessels. Thyroid gland is having a rich supply, means many blood vessels are supplied to this thyroid gland. So thyroid gland is highly glandular and richly supplied with the blood vessels. Thyroid gland is bilobed, as a thyroid gland has been divided into two parts: right thyroid gland and left thyroid gland, means thyroid lobe and left thyroid lobe. So it is a bilobed and connected to each other by the non-secretory band that called isthmus. These two lobes are joined with a small band. This band is a non-secretory part that is called as a isthmus. Thyroid lobes are composed of rounded follicles. These thyroid follicles, these lobes are having a presence of rounded follicles held together by the interfollicular connective tissue. These follicles are connected with or kept connected with the help of interfollicular connective tissue that is known as stroma. With the help of stroma, these follicular cells are held together. Stroma contains blood capillaries and small group of parafollicular cells. This stroma is having a presence of blood capillary and small group of parafollicular cells or C cells, or they are also known as clear cells. Thyroid follicles are the structural and functional unit of thyroid gland. These thyroid follicles are known as a structural and functional unit of a thyroid gland. If the question arises, which is the structural and functional unit of a thyroid gland, that is the thyroid follicles. Protection: fibrous connective tissue capsule. This is having a protection to this gland, that is a covering, that is a fibrous connective tissue capsule. Its size varies, as the thyroid gland may differ into their size according to the age, sex, temperature and iodine content of the food. These are the some of the factors which are responsible for increasing or decreasing, that may increase or decrease in the size of the thyroid gland. Shape: the gland is H shaped. As you see that the gland is like a H shape, gives the appearance like a butterfly, and bilobed gland. Weight, that given here, that is about the dark reddish brown in color. Actually it is written here weight. Actually it is not weight, that is actually color. We'll write here, we'll make COLOUR, that is color, that is a dark reddish brown in color. Origin, that is a endoderm in origin. The gland is in the origin of thyroid gland is from the germ layer, that is a endoderm. This gland was described by Thomas Wharton. This gland was described by the scientist known as Thomas Wharton. Thyroid follicles are composed of cuboidal epithelium. As you know that these thyroid follicles are composed, these thyroid follicles are in the rounded shape and they are composed of cuboidal epithelial cells. They are lined by the cuboidal epithelial cells. Innerly they are lined by the cuboidal epithelial cells resting on the basement. This is known as a basement membrane and filled with a gelatinous colloid. Inside this there is having the presence of a gelatinous substance that is called as a colloid. Colloid, C-O-L-L-O-I-D, colloid. And followed by this we are going to see the second point. If you'll see the like this, describe the TS of thyroid gland may or the transverse section of the thyroid gland. If we take, we'll see these following steps. Thyroid gland histologically shows outermost layer made up of connective tissue. Histologically, if we will take the transverse section of this thyroid gland, that will show the outermost covering that is made up of connective tissue called as a capsule. From capsule arises many septas. Like this is a one most capsule, and they are having arise many like this septa that are called as a septa, and which divide the thyroid gland into the lobules. So this can divide a thyroid gland into the many lobules, and each thyroid lobule contains 3 millions of thyroid follicles. Each lobule consists of 3 millions of thyroid follicles, and these follicles are microscopic and spherical. They are very smaller and they are in the rounded form, that is spherical form. Follicles are 0.02 to 0.09 mm in a diameter. Follicles are lined by single-celled cuboidal epithelium. Large follicles at the periphery. In these follicles, these large follicles arise at the boundary line. As if you are seeing this thyroid gland in the two lobes like this. So large follicles will lie at the boundary line, this periphery, and the smaller will be present at the center. So follicles become columnar during the hyperactivity. When that gland carries a hyperactivity, the follicle becomes columnar. They become a flat squamous during the low activity of thyroid gland, that they become a flat squamous. Acinus or follicular cavity, a large central space, as we have seen that colloid material. This is a follicle. They are lined by the cuboidal epithelial cells, and this empty space is called as a acinus. This empty space is called as a acinus or follicular space, and filled with a colloid. This colloid is composed of glycoprotein. This colloid is composed of glycoprotein, and this glycoprotein is known as a thyroglobulin. That is known as a thyroglobulin, and this thyroglobulin secreted by the cuboidal cells, and that will be having the presence of certain molecules or residues of tyrosines in the thyroglobulin. You see the another way. Then you are seeing this is a roughly drawn, this is thyroid gland, and this is having the presence of like this your trachea, and there, and this is having a presence of larynx, that is having the presence of larynx, where the sound box. Just below to this larynx, there is having the presence of this thyroid gland, and that has been divided into two lobes. This may be said as a right lobe, and this is a left. Okay. Then these two lobes are joined by the non-secretory or the small band that is known as a isthmus, that is called as a isthmus. And you are seeing these are the follicles, thyroid follicles, and there are the small follicles beside these follicles. They are called as a parafollicular cells or C cells or clear cells. They secrete the peptide hormone. These C cells secrete the peptide hormone that is known as a thyrocalcitonin, that is antagonistic to the parathyroid hormone, that is hypocalcemic. This is a hypocalcemic, means that decreases the calcium level in the blood, so it is called as a hypocalcemic. So you are seeing this is a thyroid follicle, and this thyroid follicle is lined by the cuboidal epithelial cells, and they are having the presence of, there is a thyroglobulin in the colloid substance or glycoproteins, and this thyroglobulin having the presence of tyrosine, that is having the presence of tyrosine, means that is produced from the amino acids, that is having the presence of amino acids. And as this thyroglobulin is secreted by the cuboidal epithelial cells, and you are saying the biosynthesis of thyroxine, as you know that there is having one blood vessels, and that in the blood vessel there is having the presence of iodine, and this iodine is trapped by this cuboidal epithelial cells and sent inside this colloid material. As we'll take the one molecule of this thyroglobulin, and some tyrosines are attached to this thyroglobulin. So from this blood there is a taken of this iodine that is attached to the tyrosine. If there is attachment of one iodine to the tyrosine, that is called as a monoiodotyrosine. So you are seeing that this thyroglobulin molecule, and there are having the presence of tyrosines on that, and one iodine molecule is attached to the tyrosine, that is called monoiodotyrosine. And if there is a two molecules, these two iodine molecules are attached to this tyrosine, they are called as a diiodotyrosine, that is a DIT, and this monoiodotyrosine MIT. So this MIT plus DIT means monoiodotyrosine and diiodotyrosine will get combined, they will form a triiodothyronine, means that will form the T3 hormone, that is thyroxine hormone. And if these two molecules, that is a tyrosine, these two molecules will combine, DIT plus DIT will give the tetraiodothyronines, means that will give us T4 hormones. On the hydrolysis of thyroglobulin, there is a formation of thyroxine hormone, that is a T3 and T4. Follicles are surrounded by the connective tissue with a large number of blood vessels, and thyroid is the unique endocrine gland which store its secretion. That is only one gland that maybe this thyroid is having the unique characteristics that stores the secretion. Then function of thyroid hormone, they control the basal metabolic rate of the body, means BMR. What is meant by basal metabolic rate? To carry out the basal activity when we are not performing any work. When we are in the relaxed condition, at that time our body is working like a respiration, digestion and all these things that require the energy, that is called as a basal metabolic rate to keep us alive. That keeps us alive. Increase of thyroid hormone secretion is called as a hyperthyroidism, that increases the basal metabolic rate. Decrease in the thyroid hormone secretion called as a hypothyroidism, that will decrease the basic metabolic rate. It also regulates the metabolism by stimulating the protein synthesis and promotes the growth of the bodies and tissues. As in the growth, that more effect on the skeletal growth, that gives a more effect or more growth of a skeletal growth, not on a soft tissue. So soft tissues are not more developed in this due to this hormone. Thyroid hormone helps in the mental development. Erythropoiesis, it also supports on the production of RBCs and maintains water and electrolyte balance. It also helps in the thermoregulation by increasing the heat production. It increases the action of neurotransmitters like adrenaline or noradrenaline. It also regulates a reproductive cycle in the females. Thank you.